It turns out I maybe should have put more research into this beforehand. I thought I had it pretty well figured out, but apparently I'm very confused about sushi. Hello folks, Grace here, and thank you for joining me today. Today's project is a fun one that I'm pretty excited about. You may have heard me mention on the channel several hundred times that one of my dear friends has recently had a child. That child is currently in possession of the largest collection of my crochet of anyone else in the world. And I figured, why not add another one to the list? So what I am making today is a Halloween costume. What I have decided on is sushi. I don't eat meat or fish, but the concept of this costume is too cute. So he's gonna wear a little white onesie. I had to Google what type of sushi this is, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but it's gonna be a tuna nigiri, which is basically like a slice of tuna on top of a little bed of rice and then a piece of seaweed wrapped around it to keep it all together. I'm gonna have John insert a picture here. So I first saw this idea on Pinterest. My mother had sewed it for her daughter and I was like, I can crochet that. I made the sushi band already, or the seaweed band already, out of this dark green. Most of it, the seaweed looks pretty well black, but we decided not to do black on this one. We decided to do dark green because the black felt too dark, the green felt too light, and I tried to combine them and it looked like stripes and it just wasn't working. So green it is. I made this by just doing a moss stitch, and so basically this is gonna wrap around the child, which I think since we took measurements of the child, he might be a little bigger than this, so I might need to elongate it a bit. But this is gonna wrap around and connect to the child to a pillow that is going to be the tuna. As we know, I'm going through my collection first, and I felt strongly that I would have a good tuna color in my collection. I'm feeling less strongly about that now, but I do have some good ones here. I'm thinking on camera these all look bright red because the lighting in my studio makes everything red look fluorescent. This one is actually a very bright orange, but it's more on the red side of the spectrum, and this one is more what I would consider like a salmon. I don't know if I'll be able to hold it close enough for you to see, but it almost has like little shimmery white bits in it. I think I am going to use this one just because sitting here with the actual pictures of the sushi, comparing that to the actual yarns in real life, I think that this one is a much better match. When I'm looking at these, my original thought was to make almost like a little pillow, like a little stuffed pillow that would like go on his back and then wrap the sushi around it. Or why do I keep calling it sushi? Wrap the seaweed around it. And while I think that that's still the plan, looking at these many Google image search results that I have here in front of me, it does seem to be a much thinner slice than I was originally envisioning. So I think that we'll definitely have enough with this, and we'll incorporate the white for those little striations, but I think I'm gonna keep it almost to just like 2 square layers of crochet with very minimal stuffing in between, just enough to give it some substance so it looks like proportionally to his little body as the bed of rice. It looks proportionally right, but I don't think I want to make it too thick, which will also just be good for him because it won't be like uncomfortable for him to have this thing on his back. I think I'm gonna wind this into a ball and then we're gonna get to work. I'm almost thinking, as I work on this one, that when I make the next one, I want to make it a little larger so that it has like more of a curve to it when I stuff it. That almost like this is going to be the base, and I'm just going to make it the same but like 1 or 2 stitches wider, right? I think that that would solve my problem where I feel like this is too narrow already. I feel like I almost don't want to narrow it at all, but then I'll kind of lose the shape that I've developed. I'm gonna do 2 more rows between the next decrease, and then we might just futz with the second one a little bit more. It doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be cute, which it's gonna be on a baby, so it'll inherently be cute. Okay, so the final debate I'm having with myself is whether or not I should taper this off into like a point at the end. It turns out I maybe should have put more research into this beforehand. I thought I had it pretty well figured out, but apparently I'm very confused about sushi. I'm just gonna leave it this shape and just make it a little bit longer. I'm just gonna stop stressing about it, maybe, if I can. Today is day 2 of baby sushi costume. Baby sushi back pillow. What I would like to do today is make the second half of the slice of tuna. My goals for this one, I want to keep the curve that's up here, but I do want to change the angle at which it tapers. So, did I make notes on any of the things I did with this? No, I did not. You watched me not do that. Bad Grace. Take notes next time. I'm gonna start with 30 stitches and see how I feel about that. Cool beans. Let's get to work. Okay, let's see how this worked out, maybe. It definitely does seem to have gotten rid of how harsh of an angle that is. It's hard to say. How does one decide whether what they've made is good or shit? So if I lower it to 1 decrease every other row, I'll do the decrease right in the middle so it doesn't affect the edges. We should be good. Okay, back to business, I guess. Okay, gonna leave a healthy tail there. Do I think that either of these pieces are shaped like a piece of tuna? sushi? Anything? No. But I think once we line them up and they each have their effect on the other, that it will read pretty well like a piece of tuna. I'm gonna incorporate some white threads through, but that's all gonna wait till tomorrow. Today is day 3 of baby sushi. As an A1 procrastinator, I have put this off until the night before it needs to be done. I'm gonna join the pieces and then stuff them and then figure out how we're doing the white lines. I'm thinking it's gonna be easier to start at the bottom and then get to the top because the top kind of has the largest difference between. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we have the 2 sections of the tube joined. So this is the overall shape of our piece. I'm pretty happy with the height. You can see it's, it's not too thick, not too thin. I think the game plan here is gonna be to close up this edge, which I have this very long end here all ready to do that, and then stuff it. Once that is done, then I'm going to weave through the white striations. I have to keep remembering that like a big portion of it is just going to be under this, which did kind of forget. I kind of got obsessed with the shape a bit. I'm almost thinking maybe I should make this a bit thinner because most of the pieces that I've seen are like that at most. Okay, so then I'm gonna join this bottom edge together, get the stuffing going, and move forward from there. Okay, the top one does look a bit whack in relation to these 2 lines, but it's organic. It's just the way it goes, But it is like, how it could possibly be in nature. Somewhere out there in the world, there is a piece of tuna that has striations identical to this, and you can't tell me otherwise. And then let's pull this apart. Do it over again. I'm thinking I want it to be probably about this thick. So we're gonna just I forgot that the beginning of this had a bunch of like small pieces left over from another project that I joined together. Okay, so we're gonna start again and we're gonna make it this thick. I'm not even gonna bother winding this up. It'll just be a tangled mess. It'll be like I'm actually pulling seaweed. Okay, so for those who aren't familiar, moss stitch, it's one of my favorite stitches. It's very easy. It's a single crochet and a chain stitch, and when you turn around, your single crochets go into those chain stitches, and you skip 1 chain or 1 stitch every time you do it. So it remains the same number of stitches across, but it gives this really fun like interlocking pattern. It's got a really cool texture and it's so simple. So I always enjoy doing it, and I think for the seaweed it gives it a nice texture, because when you look at like dried seaweed, it has almost like a graininess. I wish I had a yarn that was like this color with like some speckles in it, because that would be perfect, but I don't, and so we're gonna live with that and do this instead. Okay, so I know I said I was going to do this on camera until there was more than enough, but this is taking forever and I want to go spend time with my husband. So I'm going to make the rest of the seaweed off camera, but I will be sure to get some pictures of the final result when it's all done. I guess cut to that, but for now, this is what we got. Thank you guys so much for coming with me on this journey. I am very excited about this costume. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the seaweed off camera. Basically, once that's done, I'm gonna attach it to this and then put 2 pieces of Velcro on either end so that it can be easily put on and removed from the child. I hope that you guys have had fun with this one. I hope that you're all enjoying your own costumes on this lovely spooky Halloween weekend. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. I think that this is a super cute, adorable costume idea, and I can't wait to put it on a baby and see it because it's gonna be the cutest. I've been Grace. You've been great. Remember to be excellent to each other. I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.